Welcome to Clay's Cortex.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the next episode of Clay's Cortex, the podcast. I'm Curtis. Thanks for tuning in. And this topic today, I'm pretty excited to talk about. This is actually something I was going to kind of dive into later on in the podcast as I kind of progressed on throughout it. But I think this is going to be a good fit because I actually had something happen at the gym recently, a good experience that was like, you know what, I should just talk about this because I think this is something that a lot of fitness professionals, trainers, whatever, have a tough time with when it comes to working with clients and so forth. And so that's what I'm going to talk about. So this is more of a business topic, all right? But I do think that I'm going to try and apply this from almost every aspect of the podcast I talk about, whether it's training, life, whatever it is, but definitely going to focus on the business aspect of this today. I'm pretty excited for this. So the title of it is called To Take on a Client or To Not Take on a Client. That is the dilemma, right? And some people might think, well, why do you not want to take on clients? Why do you not want to take on people? Well, I'm going to kind of dive into that this episode. Now, I talked about it a little bit more on the Instagram account. So if you are on Instagram, follow me on there. It's just Clay's Cortex. So C-L-A-Y-S, Cortex, C-O-R-T-E-X. You'll see a brain pop up. Click it. That's the Instagram page for this podcast. There's also links to watch this if you want to watch it. I just film it here at the Kiln or at Curtis Clay Training in Woodinville, Washington. I film it here so you can either watch it or listen to it. You can listen to it on the podcast app on your Apple, the app on there, or you can go to Podbean. The links are in there. If you go to Instagram, it's all linked there. You just go there, click the link tree, it'll pull it up. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Multiple options to absorb this information. So yeah, let's kind of get into this, right? So I was going to talk about this later on in a later podcast, but this kind of popped up recently, as in yesterday, where I did a consultation with a client or with an athlete and their mom, and it just wasn't a good fit right now. Now, I'll explain why, right? And some people might think, why would you not want to take them on? Like, don't you want clients? Don't you want to work with people? Yeah, I do. But I'm going to talk about all the aspects and things that I think about when it comes to taking on somebody new and whether I'm a good fit for them and so forth. So, again, let's get into this. Let's talk about business, right? We know as trainers or exercise professionals, strength coaches, whatever you want to call yourself, a body worker, we have to work with people. We can't just I can't just be in this gym that I'm in right now and pretend that I'm training people all day if there's nobody in here. Like, there's nobody in here right now, it's just me. I got people coming in later today. I got actually a pretty productive day. I like to say productive instead of busy. But that's going to be today. I'll be working with people. And to do that, I have to figure out whether or not they're a good fit for what I do and if I'm a good fit for what they need. But let me get into this a little bit more. But when it comes to working with people, it doesn't mean that everybody that walks through your door is going to be a good fit for you and what you do, or you may not be a good fit for what they need. And that's the thing I think we need to figure out, because if you want to operate your fitness business, or you as just a professional within another gym or whatever it is, you have to understand how you operate. And you have to understand and also be okay with maybe me and the way that I work or train or do things, I'm not a good fit for everybody. And that's okay. But when people believe that they can work with everybody, anybody, whatever that is, that might spread you thin. And I'm going to kind of dive into that some more. So the biggest thing to think about is when it comes to working with people, there's three things I want to kind of go over. It's timing, operational topics, and then how your business or you like to operate. So let's talk about timing. Say somebody comes into your door and they're like, I want a trainer, I want to work with somebody, and these are my goals, blah, blah, blah. But right now I got a lot of stuff going on. I just want to do this sit down first to kind of see how this goes. Well, in that aspect, be like, you know what? Let's pause right there. Let's not force this right now, right? Because how I'm looking at this is if I'm going to take on somebody, maybe the timing's just not right. If they're saying they got a lot of other things going on, they're busy with these things, this might not be a good time, but I want to know what you do. Why not just wait and be like, hey, you know what? Later on down the road, when you feel like you're ready to go, let's do this again and reschedule, right? And maybe you set a specific date. Pull out your phone and set a specific date of when you want to do it. Do you want to do it in 2 months? 3 months, a month? When will you be less busy, do you think? And can we get that on the books so that it's kind of relevant to them right now? Timing's a huge thing. Operational tactics, how I look at that is, how do you run your business, right? How do you operate? Do you do one-on-one only? Do you do small group? Do you do team training? Do you do prehab, post-hab, prohabilitation, however you want to think about it? Recovery, how do you operate? And if you get somebody that comes in that say, you work in you're somebody that's a trainer that once somebody's done with physical therapy, they get referred to you and you work with people to help them bridge that gap, right? The whole, from the last couple podcasts ago, the now what, if you're that like to operate that way and somebody comes in that's healthy, maybe you don't take them on because you know what, they're like, I don't really have any injuries and I haven't been cleared from anything, but I just want to stay fit and stay healthy. If you don't operate that way and maybe what they're looking for is more of an upbeat type of workout, but you like to slow things down, that might not be a good fit for your business, which is okay, right? But say somebody comes in and they're healthy and I want to prevent injuries and I want to slow down a little bit and maybe they're a good fit. And that's why every person case to case is a different opportunity to figure out where they fit into what you do and whether what you do fits into what they do. Now, also, how does your business operate? I think a lot of fitness professionals don't even understand how their business operates. They just try to get people in, meet their needs, which isn't a bad thing, but meet their needs and make sure it fits so that they'll keep coming back, which again is not a bad thing. But if it's outside of the way that you operate your business, that may not be the best fit either. So those three things I think are crucial, which is timing, whether it's a good time for them to start training or whether it's a serious enough thing for them, operational tactics, how you like to operate your business, and along with that too, how your business operates. So do you work in small groups? Do you work one-on-one? How do you do those things? Do you do only team training? Do you even do an assessment, which I would highly encourage any exercise professional, trainer, whatever, to do some type of assessment, and make sure it's an assessment that you get information that you know that you can use, which actually thinking about that right now, I should do a podcast about that, which I will. Anywho, so if I think about that, right, so if somebody comes here, right, so like if I look at who I predominantly work with here at Curtis Clay Training, there's a big gap. Like I work with a lot of different types of people. And what I mean by that is I've been known to work mainly with youth athletes. That's how I got known. I started with team stuff, then I went to doing like small group stuff. I was known for speed, I was known for strength. If you want to say, people say it was sports specific, which I don't like to use that word, but that's how I got known. And then adults started being like, as in parents, like, do you work with adults? Do you work with people? I'm like, yeah, I do. I can. Yeah. I can come in the mornings, work with them, and then I was getting good results with their injury stuff and whatnot. They were feeling better. And then from there, I started getting known as the guy that could help fix people, which I don't like to use that word. I don't fix people. I help educate people's bodies on how to move and operate as best as possible so they can mitigate and prevent injury as best as possible. Now, one of the courses that helped me operate in a better manner in that aspect, whether it's from an adult that's hurt to a kid that's hurt to even a kid that's healthy or an adult that's healthy that wants to get better, I need to figure out a plan. And the course that really helped me with that was the Muscle System Specialist course, which I'm certified in through Exercise Professional Education. I'll put a link in that in the show notes. But that really helped me learn how to operate and how I wanted to operate my business. I've taken pieces from that and figured out, okay, how do I want to operate and insert myself within the community to help deliver what I do as best as possible? Like, what am I passionate about? Which to me, one of my biggest passions is educating the community on how to take care of their bodies. And I'm trying to find more and more ways to do that, whether it's a seminar, whether it's just with my clients, I'm educating them, and they can educate their friends and so forth, and then bring people in, however that might be. So the biggest thing with those things is you got to figure out how you operate as a business, right? Like, and the customers have to understand how you operate too. And I'm gonna give two different tactics of how to do that. The first thing I would do is a consultation, right? Do that for free. Have them come in, sit down with them 30 minutes, maybe more. They might want to talk a lot more, which is fine. And just listen and see if what they're looking for is what you can deliver to them. I did a post a while back about cars and muscles and understanding the types. As a car salesman, we've got to understand the types of cars, what they do, so we can make sure to give the client or the customer what they want. I'm not going to give a customer who wants a city commuter car, I'm not going to give them a truck, right? As a car salesman, that makes no sense. So if I'm a car lot that only sells trucks, I'm not going to try and sell somebody a truck that needs a sedan. Now, on the back end of that, you may be losing profit per se, right? Because you're like, well, I've only got trucks and this person wants a sedan and I've got to deliver this product so I can make money and so forth. You've got to be more You got to be full of more integrity than that. You've got to understand, you got to help that person meet their needs, right? And I get it, you need to make money to live. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing, but understanding what that person needs, they're going to have a better experience with you if you deliver what they need. And if what they need is what you can deliver, it's an even better fit. So I wrote a little thing here. I'm not going to go to my barber or my hairstylist and ask them for skin advice when it comes to dermatology. I'm not going to ask the person that cuts my hair, I'm not going to ask them, hey, what type of face product should I use? Should I use a moisturizer? Should I use a face wash that's oil-based? Should I, I'm not going to ask them that. And on the vice versa, I'm not going to go to my dermatologist and ask them how I should style my hair, what hair products I should use based off my hair type. That doesn't make sense, right? Now, if a barber starts to try and deliver that type of thing without any background in dermatology, they're going to spread themselves thin, and then people are going to be like, well, I don't really know, they're a skin person, are they a barber person, they don't know, so making sure you understand what your message is as a business will help deliver that so customers know, okay, I need athletic development, that's where I'm going to go. I need injury rehab, that's where I'm going to go. If you do both, great. Because I believe, and I've talked about this, that exercise is a very powerful tool that we can use to help so many people. But that's a big thing. I want to get into this next thing, your reputation. So how does your community talk about you? Do they look at you as just a team trainer? Do they look at you as a strength specialist who's a powerlifting person, right? How do you view yourself? Or how does the community view yourself or view you? If there's not a clear message of what you do and how you do it, it's going to be hard for people to understand whether they need to come to you or not, right? Now, that's a big one, right? But if your reputation is good, people will come. But if you operate outside of your operational tactics, it's going to really impact the impact that you can make on your community. And what I meant by that was that whole barber and dermatology analogy is that if I'm here, right, and I'm not saying that I do this, because I do not do this. If I'm here saying that I am a trainer that does nutrition plans, that also does rehab, that does, massage, that does all these different types of services. Like if I watch Shark Tank, the guy, one of the biggest things that's a big issue is they talk about SKUs, right? So if your company has a bunch of different SKUs, it's hard to maintain all that. So they say you should do one thing really, really well and maybe expand from there, but dominate that one thing. And I'll dive deeper into that. But you can't spread yourself thin, because if you want to be seen as somebody that's really good at what they do, you have to essentially lock that thing in, tune it up, be the best at it as you can be, to then get yourself out there so that people will absorb that. Maybe you start to expand a little bit from that bubble, which is fine. But if your client or a potential client comes in the door and they say they want nutrition advice because they think that that's what trainers do, but your message isn't clear, it's not going to be a good fit. Or what can happen, I've seen this happen a lot and heard stories about this, is that trainers will try to, oh yeah, I do nutrition too, when really it's like, dude or girl, just refer to nutritionists. Find a good nutritionist that you can refer to. That's their scope. That's their standard of care. That's what they do. If you're a trainer, you're focusing on the body and movements and so forth, focus on that, right? And then you can build a collaboration, right? So that's a big thing to think about too. So you don't want to be mediocre at a bunch of different things, because then your client's going to be like, well, they're kind of good at training, but they're kind of good at nutrition, and I don't really know, but are you known to be really good at that one certain thing? Or maybe it's two certain things, maybe three. Three is probably the max capacity that I can think of. Like here, I'm known for athletic development, injury recovery, and getting people back to where they were post-injury, post-surgery, and that kind of stuff after PT and working with PTs. I'm known for that. So if you look at that, under that big umbrella, I'm like a body mechanic, right? Like I'm almost like a detective that can piece everything together and kind of make that whole entire crime scene or help your body be as whole as possible, right? So that's the biggest thing, is I'm hearing this more and more now, and I agree with it, is a niche or a niche, right? Specializing in a certain area. When I first started out, I worked with really everybody and realized there was certain areas that I did really, really well. And I believe that I did really well with athletic development. I do think that was my biggest passion, because I felt like the youth needed somebody to be poured into. And I love working with the youth, but I'll tell you right now, I love working one-on-one with adults that have injuries that are trying to get back to their normal life, because those parents and adults, they want to live a life too, right? It's not just about athletic development and so forth. And that's probably what Curtis Clay Training is known for, is athletic development, but we help everybody, right? So if I'm talking about the next thing and why this podcast episode was sparked was, and it's back to the topic of to take on a client or to not take on a client. That's the dilemma. I had a girl come in, the mom called, I had a great talk with her on the phone, and I was like, yeah, let's do a consultation. So I do a free consultation here. It's not pay, you don't have to pay for it. It's to see whether I'm a good fit for what you need and whether you're a good fit for how I operate. Because it's a two-way street. It's like a relationship, right? Like if you're a girl trying to find a guy to date, and this dude's like, say you want kids and this dude doesn't want kids, probably don't want to date them long term. Because if you want kids and you want to get married, but the dude doesn't want that, maybe it's not a good fit. So you got to see if you're a match, right? Or a match. Or I was going to say mesh, but if you mesh or match, right? So if you guys work well together. And that's why I do these consultations. So this mom called me about, her daughter needed to get faster. The last name looked familiar in the email when I called her. Wasn't sure. They came in yesterday. And I talked with them, and I was like, hey, I remember you. How are you doing? I remember the daughter. She did some speed camps with me. I do a softball speed camp over here as a conjunction to help out the softball trainer. She's really good. And so we did that essentially. So when she came in, we talked, and I was like, so what are you here for? And the daughter didn't have any, she's 12, right? So she didn't have really any type of specific goal. She just wanted to get faster, right? Or her mom kept saying that, she's never been taught how to run. She's never been taught how to run, which, okay, she's 12, right? But then I asked the mom, like, what else does she do? Well, she plays multiple sports. She plays 3 different sports. She plays soccer in the fall, plays basketball right now. That's almost done. And then she plays softball. I think her main sport is softball. And I remember this girl. She was a great athlete, moved real well. And even when she was 10, she was keeping up speed-wise with some of the older girls, which I was like, dude, I don't even want to tell you that you need me because she's not a good athlete, because that wasn't the case. So I was talking to the mom about what they wanted, and I was like, hey, can I be honest with you? I said, I don't think you need me right now. I don't think you actually need the services I provide. If we could do some running form stuff, but I think she just needs to build some more strength because she's 12. She's got to learn how to use her body more effectively, more efficiently, and that's the recommendation I gave. But I told the mom, I was like, hey, I don't think this is a good fit right now. Not because, I can't help her. I do believe that I can help her with whatever your goals are and what you want to work on. I know I can help with that. But I don't think timing-wise, this is a good fit for her right now. She's playing multiple sports. She's doing fine. She's developing. And I don't think she has an actual goal that she actually wants to work on. She just wants to get faster. And I just tried to encourage her with the aspect of keep working hard. Even though you're the fastest girl on your team, still be that. Maybe do some body weight exercises at home. I was just encouraging them that way that you don't need me right now, but down the road, hopefully you'll come back because you're like, you know what, I really liked how this guy operated. I really liked that he was honest with us and said, we didn't need the training right now or to come in. And I shot them straight. I was like, dude, I would say once a week to bi-weekly. She doesn't need to train that much. And so when I was honest with them, you could tell the mom's walls went down and she was like, I like that. But then I ended up walking them through the assessment process because we had time and, what I do, it's a 2-part assessment and so forth. And so she was like, okay. And then the mom asked, hey, do you think that, or do you work with adults? I was like, I do. She's like, well, I got this thing going on. So then it was a way to be like, I think you'd be a good fit right now for what I do. It doesn't mean the daughter won't come back, but that's what I'm talking about. It doesn't mean when it comes to take on a client or to not take on a client, that's the dilemma. It's, of course I want to work with people. Of course I want to work with more people. The more people I work with, the more impact I can make on the community, the more I can provide for my family and so forth. But you need to be full of integrity too and be honest with people. So when I had told her that this isn't a good fit, that was me being full of integrity and being honest with her, telling her, hey, this isn't a good fit right now, not because she won't benefit from it, but based off your guys' timing and where she's at, I don't think you need it right now, which is an okay place to be in. I think a lot of people get afraid. They get afraid with being honest with somebody. I think that's what kind of throws them off. They're afraid of being honest because if they don't take that client on right now, that they're never going to come back, which I don't think is the case, because if you're full of integrity and you're honest with people, they'll probably come back. But then that goes back to the reputation. How does the community view you? Do they view you as somebody that's honest, that's good at what they do, and shoot people straight? That's something we've got to think about too, right? And I think if if I go on this tangent with this with athletes, a lot of parents think that their kid or daughter, or their son or daughter, needs to get into training at the age of 10, at the age of 12, early. I don't think that's a bad thing, but it doesn't mean that everybody has to do it. Just because one of your teammates is doing it, it might not be a good fit for you or your family at this moment in time. Maybe training isn't, maybe, you want to go work with a trainer, but maybe you're just not that serious about it. Maybe it's not a good fit yet. But when you're ready, hopefully you can find somebody that can be honest with you, full of integrity, to tell you, hey, you know what? I can help you right now. Or you know what? I'm a good fit. Or you know what you're looking for is not what I do. You should go see a physical therapist or whatever it is. And that's what I think is, if you understand as a fitness professional or trainer the timing of the client, as in when they need to start training, whether it's serious, your operational tactics of how you want to operate your business, one-on-one, small group, team training, to how your business operates or runs. Do you work small group? Do you do assessments? Do you not? What are all the aspects that you use or tools in your toolbox to help reach your objective, to reach those objectives? Once you understand those things, you'll have no problem, and there won't be a dilemma of, do I take this client on or do I not? You'll know how you operate, the community will know how you operate, and clients will be like, you know what, I need this specific task to be done, I'm gonna go to this person. I would say here at Curtis Clay Training, we are known for helping people's muscular systems operate as optimally as possible. That's what we're known for, whether it's an athlete, whether it's an adult, whether it's coming back from injury, whether it's preparing for a surgery to make sure your body's in a good place, whatever that may be. That's what we're known for here, and that's what we do really well. So how we operate is in that scope or in that standard of care. And that's a pretty wide variety of that, but when it comes to you want to achieve something with your muscular system, that's what we do. People know that for us here at Curtis Clay Training. So when it comes down to, if I have somebody come in that wants to, lose weight and they're already training by themselves, I might say, hey, maybe you need to go see a nutritionist. I'm gonna steer them in the right direction. So understand your business and how it operates, and how you, if you work with inside a gym, how you wanna operate. Because once you understand that, there won't be a dilemma of, should I take this client on? Are they a good fit for what I do? Then it'll be like, I know what type of clients I want and who I'm a good fit for, and then things will go smooth sailing from there. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully this will help clear up the dilemma of what clients to take on and what clients to not take on, but you first gotta look within yourself. So follow me on Instagram, Clay's Cortex. You can find it on there. Also, you can watch these on YouTube, listen to them on Podbean, and you can also listen to it on the Apple Podcast app. I'll get on the Spotify app soon. But if you wanna watch it and you're like, where do I go? You can go to YouTube and look that up, or just go to the Instagram page, click on my link in the profile, and it'll pull up different options of where to watch it. So thanks for listening. Curtis Clay, signing out.